Hey, what's up guys? And first of all, if you'd like to support me and the channels, my PayPal will be in the description. So, thank you very much. Now, welcome back to Animaking 3. I got this idea around 3 to 4 months back. Sorry it took me this long, but here it is. What if Naruto was the thinker from CW's Flash? Yes guys, the Flash. The thinker. The man that believed that he's so smart. He's unstoppable. But arrogance became his own undoing. And in the end, he was almost successful, but, well, he failed. So, let us take everything that he possessed and give it to Naruto Uzumaki. A cataclysmic event that will change everything and open his eyes in every single concept of the way. So yeah guys, if you like to see more of this, just tell me you want part 2 and I'll be posting as soon as possible. So, without further ado or wasting more time, let's begin this now guys. We begin this episode with Hiruzen Sarutobi, leader of Konoha, as he arrived at his destination. Arriving towards the building, he came to a stop and he stood at the door. The graduation class of this year, they would be graduating, and he should have been a part of it, but he wasn't. He was speaking of the person inside as he knocked. But there was no answer. He knocked once again. Again no answer. He knocked once again. And still no answer. He turned the doorknob. The door was open as he pushed. He entered inside. There were books all over the place. But none of them were out of order. There was also multiple scrolls. None of them were out of order. The apartment was perfectly cleaned. Everything was where it was supposed to be. It was kept well maintained. Given his situation, it was rather surprising, but he should come to expect this by now from this child. Stepping inside deeper as he went to the other room, he found the boy. His name was Naruto Uzumaki. As he was seated at the table, he had the headphones on, listening to something. Hiruzen's attention drew his. He pulled them out as he smiled at the old man. He greeted him respectfully as Hiruzen moved over towards him. Seeing the scrolls on the table, as Naruto liked to listen to music while he worked, that is why he did not hear him. He just come to check up on Naruto, to see if he was okay, to see how he was doing. His name was Naruto Uzumaki. He was 16 years old. He had blonde hair that was well kept, 2 bangs coming down the side of his face. He was a very handsome young man, as you could not see his full stature because he was seated. As he was speaking to the Hokage, Hiruzen Sarutobi was speaking about his new project, seeing a lot on the table that he was currently fascinated with. Naruto was a very smart person, incredibly so. My new achievement will leave everyone truly surprised. A promise I set for you, Naruto said. Hiruzen smiled hearing that. He's come to trust Naruto's judgment. After all, Naruto Uzumaki had helped out Konoha a lot, venturing in the art of sealing from a young age. Naruto had done things that many others could not even dream of in the terms of sealing. Konoha additional forces were gravely boosted. due to the ceiling tags that Naruto created for many different usage. Healing tag, strengthening tag, many different things. The boy was truly smart. However, a scroll fell from his hand. It hit the ground as his hand was shaking. Hiruzen looked down sadly. "How is it going?" he said, his tone dimming a bit. "It's getting worse. I will not sugarcoat it," said Naruto, looking at his shaky hand. "Soon enough, it will be everything." The words were painful to hear if you truly understood the situation. Placing his hand on his chair, Naruto rolled out, using the device on the right side to move the wheelchair. Yes, he was in a wheelchair, and soon enough, he won't have mobility at all. Not one bit. The life of Naruto Uzumaki was a tragic one, because soon enough he wouldn't have the ability to even move. From a young age, Naruto showed the signs of being a genius. He was smart, intellectually confident in everything that he did. There were some disagreements that were placed on him being, too advanced because people fear the unknown because of what he had inside of him. The nine-tailed fox, something that he figured out rather early, yes, immensely so. He also learned his parents' identity. There wasn't much that you could keep away from him. He did not know their reasons. However, the Hokage and Jiraiya of the Sanin truly believed that they did it for a reason, especially his father, because he believed that Naruto would be able to control the power of the nine-tailed fox. Unfortunately though, when Naruto was 14 years old, something bad happened. He was struck by lightning. Yes, he was struck by lightning. A causality that was high in terms of it actually happening. Yes, it was much frequent for ninjas that use lightning-based techniques and all of that, but Naruto was never a physical child. The struck left him damaged gravely. Jiraiya of the Sanin that came to the village, as Naruto knew who he was and what he was to him. He took everything that the doctors had written down. He found Tsunade Senju. Unfortunately though, there was nothing she could do, because Naruto's condition was bad, extremely so. His entire nerve system was gravely affected. His spine had collapsed. His muscles are deteriorating, causing a weakness. The more time passed, the worse it gets. There was no stopping this. Yes, they could slow it down, but they tried. Not even the greatest medic could do something about this. There was no ninjutsu, no medical ninjutsu that could help Naruto. He had the nine-tailed power inside of him, and yet, not even the beast could reverse the cellular damage that had been done to his nervous system. His body was that gravely damaged. Not even the power of the beast could heal him. It was that horrible. Naruto has come to accept it and live with the understanding that one day he wouldn't be able to move anymore. One day things will be a lot worse. During that time though, he will do what he can. The wheelchair that he was currently in, it was created by him. It was his idea put to reality with the help of those around him. Naruto created something that most nations weren't even close to achieving a small fraction of just yet. The chair was a construct of advanced chakra manipulation, infused with seals and machinery as well. Anti-gravity seals, always allowing rather fluid movements. There were also things inside that only he knew about. You had offensive chakra cannons. Those were for defense. It also possessed remote chakra arms, controlled by thought alone, for manipulation. This chair is a fusion of chakra science, fuinjutsu and technology, far beyond anything the world has ever seen before, and he created it. Naruto was a genius, there was no doubt about that. As him and Hiruzen spoke, this year graduation would be stepping out into the field. Hiruzen just wanted to make Naruto know that, due to his inventions, his creations, they will be more safe than ever. After the Hokage was finished, as he left, Naruto was by the window, observing the man. Once he was gone, Naruto placed his hand down on the chair. As the chair lifted upwards, as it started to move Naruto, it moved him above everything. As Naruto clicked another button, the next moment the room floor opened up. Yes, the room floor opened up as Naruto went down. Straight down. Now you might be asking, how was this possible? After all, Naruto lived in an apartment on the top building, and there were other people inside, so how? How was it possible that he was doing this? Let's just say that that door did not lead down in his apartment. It led to somewhere completely different. And once it was gone, it simply vanished like it was never there to exist with. As for Naruto, when he finally settled down, he was in a rather large area. There were computers, all sorts of technology around him. The chair moving towards the closest one. Naruto tapped a button on the chair and security cameras appeared all over the village. Literally, every aspect of the village could be viewed by Naruto from here. Behind Naruto were people. However, they were unconscious. 3 of them lying on a table. Naruto wasn't an evil person, but he was a very twisted person, believing that he got struck by lightning and that was what took away his mobility. Well, he was in a wheelchair, he was losing mobility, but the strike was not random. It was surprising, but it wasn't random. You see, Naruto was smart, but he craved for more. He wanted more. He obsessed for more. He came across something truly unique. During one of his experiments, Naruto discovered something ancient. An ancient Uzumaki relic. The Mind Nexus seal. A legendary seal, rumored to amplify the mental capacity to transcend normal levels. However, the relic was damaged. It was unstable. Naruto actively tried to restore it, while attempting to activate it during a violent thunderstorm, as Naruto wanted to use the static in the ear to compensate for missing natural energy. Yes, he needed something natural, something violent. However, a problem arose. The lightning bolt came. That wasn't supposed to happen. But everyone made mistakes now and again. The device was on his head when the bolt of lightning struck him. With the natural energy infused inside of it, the dark chakra imbued within the seal, along with the 9-tailed chakra in his system, it directly overloaded him. And that is the reason why the 9-tail could not heal Naruto, because its chakra was a part of the problem. So whenever it tried to restore him, it was simply being fed back its own chakra. It was useless in this department. Extremely so. It could not heal him because it was a part of the original, affliction. The catastrophic overload. It caused his brain synapses, his neurons, his pathways to accelerate at multiple of thousands of times beyond the normal human capacity. His IQ skyrocketed into the realms of infinite. He became capable of processing trillions of outcomes in seconds. His mind exploded with understanding. He was able to read microscopic body movements, deciphering any pattern. But the price was the loss of his mobility, the destruction of his own self that he suffered, and now not even the Nine Tails could heal him. But Naruto believed that the benefits were greater than the negative ones that he suffered, as he had hyper-reactive process. Yes, he could calculate millions of simulations within his mind, the outcome of a battle in microseconds. He had photographic memory. Once he knows something, he will never, ever forget it. He can analyze and map out almost anything. So yes, Naruto believed that the benefits outweigh the negative side effects. However, soon enough those won't be a problem, he thought to himself. Naruto made his way towards the three people that were unconscious. No, they were not from Konoha. He pressed a button on his chair. A scream came down. The scream depicted the three people as they were sitting down and simply eating together. A device was at the side of their temple. They were calm at first, but the male with the dark hair accidentally knocked over the salt. The woman next to him looked down towards it. Her words were simple and calm. "Pick it up," she said. He reached over to pick it up, but the other male stopped him. "You wasted it," he said. The other male with the dark hair looked towards the two of them. "I apologize." But before another word was said, the girl suddenly snapped. And then the other male snapped as well. They both slammed the tray into the person that dashed away the salt. They slammed their tray right into his head. Then they attacked one another. But by that time the entire room was gas, and they proceeded to pass out on the ground. Naruto moved towards them. He held his hand out, a device in his palm. The small little ring device at the side of their head floated towards the center of his palm. Naruto connected them all back together. Naruto moved away. With great understanding came great burden. Naruto saw the world. He saw how broken it was, and he had a way to fix it. Not a conventional way, after all. His tactic would lead to mass revulsion, mass chaos, but none of that truly matters when it comes to him. Because it doesn't matter what they plan. It doesn't matter what they do. He will always be at least 1,000 steps ahead, and his plan will come to fruition. He thought to himself. The alarm on his chair started to perk up. Naruto got back to his apartment. He opened the door. Standing there smiling was Ino Yamanaka. She brought Naruto some cinnamon buns. Ino was a friend of his. They've been friends for a long time now. It started back when they were much younger. Ino threatened Ami Uzuki rule as the top girl in the class. A little bit after she joined the academy, Ami Uzuki had brought two of the other boys so they could intimidate Ino for her to be one of Ami's lackey, but Naruto had stepped in. Seeing Ino outmatched, he didn't even know her, he had stepped in. Unfortunately for him though, he got the crap beaten out of him. The two boys bested him rather easily. However, from then, a friendship had spawned between them. She was surprised at how smart Naruto was. He was extremely smart. Whenever there was a hard test or anything, he helped her. And she helped Naruto with his social cues. He wasn't a very social person when he was younger. When she first invited him over to her house, her parents were surprised to see who it was. However, they were much smarter than the other people that tend to not know what was truly going on. Ino was the only person their age that knew what Naruto had sealed inside of him, and knew about his parents, because she was Naruto's best friend. She was a part of the reason why he desired to make a great change for this world. However, he knew that once everything became public and it will eventually, things between them are going to change drastically. Because from now on, she was going to take the mantle as a Kunoichi of Konoha. Due to many past actions, they raised the graduation years to 16, allowing the kids to truly understand what it meant to be a ninja. Mental stress could be a lot. After all, some years ago, a tragedy happened, and a young boy slaughtered his entire clan. To think that one person could do something like that was truly insane. But Naruto was no fool, he knew that wasn't how things play out. As for Ino, she knew that things were getting bad for Naruto, but she also knew that he didn't want any pity. She came by every now and again to hang out with him. Since the accident, he stopped showing up at the academy, as he wasn't fit to be a ninja anymore. There was no point. After all, there wasn't anything that the academy could teach him that he did not already know. But she was still his friend no matter what. She brought others a few times, trying to make Naruto socialize more because since the accident he's been drawing in. She brought Shikamaru, she brought Choji, even Sakura as well. She wanted to make Naruto feel happy because she knew that soon enough things were gonna get bad. The thoughts, they depressed her, very much so. She hated thinking about that, as she just spent the day hanging out with him, until she had to go home. Time skip. Naruto was currently within his mindscape. In here he could do anything, as he was standing on his feet. He made his way down the hall, finally coming to a stop. There was a room that he simply walked through the door. The mindscape was not a wasteland or a sewer. Naruto changed everything because he reprogrammed the seal. Stepping inside, his parents were there, Minato and Kushina, the both of them sitting down. They looked up as they saw their son, but they both looked rather disappointed in him. You could see it in their eyes. "I am closer," said Naruto, "into achieving the world that you both wanted. We never asked for this." Minato said, "You're fooling yourself believing that this is what we desired." "Look at you," Naruto said. "You're both just remnants of your chakra. I'm allowing you to be here. Then let us go," said Kushina. "I can't bear the thought of what you're going to do." "Why?" "I'm helping humanity. I'm saving it. Under one collective mind, humanity will be better." "What about that can't you understand?" Naruto said. Minato got up as he looked towards his son. "And the people that you're planning on killing that tried to stop you. Where is the empathy? Where is the love? I know that we were never there for you. But you are our blood, and you must know that doing this is wrong." "You're dead," Naruto said. "If you were truly alive, perhaps things wouldn't have happened this way, but I do care about people. There's Ino. She's a good friend of mine. She's supportive. What do you think she will say about all of this?" Kushina said. "I believe that she won't understand at first, but once she sees the genius of my plan, she will come to understand why changes must be made." "She won't," said Minato. "She will be angry, just like everyone else, and they will stop you." Naruto started to chuckle. He was amused. "You two sit here, because I enjoy the back in front. Because I enjoy knowing that I've told you my plan and yet you don't see the genius of it. Because I want you to see the remarkable world that I'm seeking to create. Perhaps a part of me does need the parental acceptance, knowing that you believe in me. You won't get it from us, said Minato. How many wars have happened, said Naruto, as he stepped towards them. This is not the way, Minato said. Allowing people to not have their own control, Kushina said. Be quiet. Naruto interrupted. How many wars have happened? How many bloodshed and chaos? You two died because of what? Power, greed, and I possess the capability to change all of that, and yet you're upset. Well, I can understand that, said Naruto. He wasn't angry. There was no point in getting angry. I can understand you're hesitant on the matter, but soon enough you will see it. I want you to be there when I do bring great changes. It will take me some time, but eventually, my genius will spread across this world. And then, beyond, Naruto said. He walked away, leaving them. Their chakra would never run out because it's connected to the fox. Speaking of the nine-tailed fox, Naruto stepped into the chamber where the beast usually was, but it wasn't there. What was there was a cube. A massive cube that was the size of a mansion. The cube was colossal, coursing with red violent energy inside of it. It was the Nine Tails. It no longer had a soul. It no longer had sentience. It was what it was supposed to be. Power. Connected to the tube was all sorts of cards. These weren't exactly physical, but just a representation. You could see the diluting chakra running to his parents, and the room that they were in, keeping them alive. Naruto placed his hand on the cube. In the outside world, Naruto's hand was on a scroll. Chakra transferred from his stomach straight to the scroll, infusing it. Naruto had long learned how to pick apart the Nine-Tails chakra. Naruto dived into its own subconscious, accessing its mind, its memory. He learned that the Sage of Six Paths had created it. His information on the Sage of Six Paths was limited, extremely so, but he did know the man was a god who had said to create the moon. But he was quite aware that he formed the tail beasts from a more powerful tail beast. A beast that was able to split the earth, drank the ocean. But that did not concern him, because in front of his plan, those things were mere insect. All of them were. Naruto left his mindscape in the real world. Naruto brought the scroll over and all the hands of the three people were placed on it. Their system seemed to be supercharged. As Naruto moved towards a small little podium where a device came out, Naruto placed the helmet on his head. The device connected to it as Naruto closed his eyes. All three people got on their feet, all of them under Naruto's control. With that, they left through the secret entrance. There was a reason why Naruto was getting things that he shouldn't be near. He had a lot of help. The three of them made their way. As they dashed through the foliage, heading off, they made their way towards a land of waterfall. Yes, the entrance was a well-kept guarded secret. Even many important people had to put on blindfolds or taken through different entrances. There was one thing that they possessed, and that was their secret entrance. Because unlike most small villages, they had a tail beast. Yes, they did. They had one. Naruto gave the three people that he controlled code names. The girl, her name was Viper. The man with the dark hair, being a bit on the muscular side, his name was Kuma. And the smaller man, his name was Cheetah, naming that was fitted for their attributes. As they snuck inside, but the one that headed for the hero water was the girl. As Viper descended upon the area, 2 guards were there. Constantly, 24-hour watch. It wasn't long ago that Naruto learned about this, but it wasn't interested to him until now. She landed behind the both of them. They could not sense her, but the vibration on the ground alerted them. Before they could turn, though, she struck them in the back of the neck. Her hands, laced with a very powerful toxin. Their bodies seized up almost immediately as they tried to fight it off. She dashed off, making her way. As she got by all of the traps, everything that would set off an alarm. Naruto had been mapping out the place. He was always 10 steps ahead. However, 3 ninjas came out of the foliage as they were behind the tree. This seemed to be a surprise. Naruto seemed to have been caught off guard. The ninjas were on rotating shifts, and their time was now. Unfortunately for them though, the one in the center grabbed the 2 of them and smashed their head together. The real third ninja had been knocked out and put aside. He transformed back into normal, revealing that it was Kuma. He gave Viper a nod. She made her way. She went through Handstein and undid the veil. The moment she did, Cheater descended in the water. He was fast, incredibly so as he swam. He then came up back to the surface as he went underneath. Finally arriving there, the pattern was easy. He got by all the traps there and grabbed the hero water. As it was well secured, he pulled the scroll out and stored it away. When the ninjas are finally able to get back to their feet, they are going to report this, but unfortunately for them, no one knew who was behind it. There was no evidence, no fingerprints, no nothing at all. Naruto got the hero water as he took it. As he brought it towards a rather tight sealed chamber and poured it inside. All of it, that is. Some of it dashed on the ground as it fell out of his hand, the cup crashing down, his hand shaking rather vigorously. Naruto held it with his other hand, trying to control it, for the time being, that is. Time skip. Ino and the others had graduated, and they became ninjas. At the moment, Naruto and Ino were taking a stroll. Some people felt bad for him, the ones that despised him in the past, because he had the 9 tails, but they could see now that he was just a child. And because of his disability now, some felt bad for him, as it felt awkward hating him for this now, despite the fact that doing it in the first place was also horrible on their part. But now it was worse. Naruto did not mind hanging out with her. Talking with her, she spoke about how ninja life was problematic. Well, the mission sucks, she said. We've been doing mostly D ranks. We haven't even gotten a good mission just yet. You sound miserable. Why not quit? I'm no quitter, she said, and you should know that by now. They got some ice cream. They weren't dating or anything like that. They were just friends. However, it fell from Naruto's hand. With quick reflex, Ino caught it. As she held on to the cone, not an ounce of it had fell to the ground. Huh, nice catch, he said with a smile towards her. However, she was so sad. You could see the sadness in her eyes. Naruto was her best friend. There was no doubt about that. She didn't like to bring it up because it made him sad and her even worse. As she looked at the cone turning towards him, he looked towards her. What's wrong? He said. It's just, we're pretending like everything is normal when it's not, she said to him. Naruto knew that she could not know the truth. He didn't believe that she was ready for that just yet. Well, it is, said Naruto. We've done this on more than one occasion, so I don't see what you're talking about. You're always doing that, deflecting away. And I'm not pitying you, I'm worried, because we can't change anything. We're just living with this, knowing that it's going to get worse and worse until you can't. She looked away as Naruto placed a hand on her hand. I'm glad you're worried about me, he said. That is why. You're one of my closest friends, he said to her. But what is the point of wasting the time that we still have, when we can use it to its fullest? He smiled. He always knew what to say to make things better. However, she feared that one day that wasn't going to happen because there was a big chance that Naruto would lose function of everything, even his speech as well. And she was afraid to see that day. Time skip. Team 7 consisting of Sasuke, Sakura, Haruno, and a young boy named Sai venture out on numerous missions. Their greatest one was towards the land of Wave. Kakashi Hatake came by to pay Naruto a visit. He had wanted Naruto to be as a student for him, but that wasn't possible. Learning about his father got him to learn a lot more about the other people around him. Kakashi was here to speak to Naruto, just to see how he was doing. He spoke to the Hokage and he heard that it was getting worse. But Naruto was pretending like nothing was wrong. He shrugged it off like it was absolutely nothing. Days turned into weeks and weeks turned into months. And before they knew it, the Chunin exams was coming around. As Ino was telling Naruto everything about the exams and what was going to happen, she was rather nervous. There's nothing to be nervous about. You're awesome. And besides, you have your team by your side. I'm sure that you guys will succeed. Thanks, she said to him. Time skip. Within the Forest of Death, we find Team 7 making their way. However, Sasuke Uchiha, a boy that is arrogant. He was the last Uchiha within Konoha after all. He was arrogant in every sense of the word. Came across a threat that had him shaken. Sai, on the other hand, Sai seemed to be much more advanced as he fought toe-to-toe with the Sanin that was pretending to be one of the participants. Well, toe-to-toe wasn't exactly the word because Orochimaru was holding back. Sasuke refused to be looked down upon. He refused it, refusing to accept that existence. Thus, he started to fight, showing off his two-totem Sharingan. Sakura just did not know how she could help. She truly and really did not know, as she found herself panicking. The fight was getting more intense until Sasuke got bit in the neck. Yes, he was bit right in the neck. He collapsed in agony. Sai was sent through a tree. She rushed to their aid. Orochimaru chuckled at her being braved, but there was really nothing that she can do. The Sanin left afterwards, roaming through the forest when suddenly, I know you're there, he said. Show yourself. 3 covered people exit the foliage. Cheetah, Kuma, and Viper. And who are you people? Orochimaru said. Something was off about them. He was getting absolutely nothing. Something was not right here. I must say, it's a true honor to meet you, said Cheetah. Yes, I've done a lot of research about you, Kuma said. Orochimaru realized that something was really wrong. They speak right after one another. They were connected. That is why he wasn't getting anything, because these were just pawns. And who is it behind these 3 watching me? If I have an admirer, I would like to know who it is. Within due time, Cheetah said, stepping towards the Sanin. I would like to study you. There's a part of your adapting growth that truly interests me. I was able to find some of your work in one of your old labs. I believe that you were able to successfully reach the level of advancement that is capable of helping me. Then again, You being close enough will be an insight that I will be able to find useful. The Sanin chuckled in amusement. I must say, it's been a long time since I've been this amused. You want me to hand myself over to you? It seems, whoever you are, you're not really that smart, Orochimaru said with a smile. Not that smart, Viper said. Well, in actuality, comparing you and me is like comparing an ant to, well, the end of the world. That is how drastic I can make it, or perhaps the end of the known reality, if we're being truly honest about what it is comparing me and you, to believe who is the better in this situation. The Sanin blitzed in front of Cheetah. I've wasted enough time, he said. He tried to grab him, but Cheetah moved away. He's fast, the Sanin thought as he appeared behind him. When Kuma slammed a fist in Orochimaru's chest, the Sanin crashed into the ground. Orochimaru was confused. Why? Why did this hurt so much? Suddenly, Viper jabbed him right at the tip of his nose. The Sanin jumped away as he flipped and landed. When Cheetah placed a hand on his shoulder, I'm afraid we're not done just yet, Cheetah said. He struck Orochimaru in the back. The Sanin cried out in pain as it felt like someone had stabbed him 100 times. He then collapsed down to his knees, wheezing and coughing up blood. What is this? What are you doing to me? He said. As I said, comparing yourself and mine is not a very fair example. Orochimaru blinked as he found himself bound and in a chair. What the hell? Where am I? What is this? He shouted when Naruto revealed himself. Hi there, he said, his three puppets standing behind him as they made their way and lie down at the table and closed their eyes. I must say, I'm quite happy to meet you. While not as smart as me, I've come across some of your work. You tend to take the wickedness path, as most people believe, but I can see what you truly are. A man that believes in evolution, the next step, and doesn't matter what he has to go through to get it. How did I get here? Orochimaru said, raging in anger. Oh, Naruto tapped a button on his chair. A scream came down, showing the entire forest of death. You see, when my little, puppet over there appeared in front of you, he injected small little creatures inside of your body. Think of them as such. What they truly are will mess with your mind. But they're like a fusion between chakra and technology. Then again, you aren't that stupid as a common man, so you should understand. Naruto said, holding up one of them. Extremely small. They entered your system. All that you saw was just an illusion. Well, an illusion that was attached to your nervous system. So the pain was real. Everything that you felt was real, but the physical attack was never there. Then again, calling them illusion might seem as if I'm watering them down. Think of it as reality-altering vision, said Naruto, as he moved towards the Sanin. Orochimaru tried to free himself. Don't bother. The more you try, the harder it becomes. The Sanin looked towards the restrained. He tried to regurgitate himself. Oh, trust me. I have everything that you've done undercover, said Naruto. The moment I had my people see you within the forest, I already understand what makes you what you are. That's impossible. Maybe for someone like you, but I am just better, said Naruto. Now what truly fascinates me is your technique. I came across it recently, and I must say, it has brought me a sense of understanding to do greatness. Your technique is quite revolting and pathetic in every single way. Orochimaru clenched his fists. But I have to say, it gave me the example of something that was keeping a little bit of information away from my perfect combination, if you might say. As Naruto was floating, his chair was floating. You could see the difference between this and his standard chair. This was different. The helmet on his head, the circuits, the chakra flowing through it. Naruto was powerful. Despite his condition, he was powerful in every single way. You're upset by my words, but can't you see the flaw within your technique? The living corpse reanimation. I mean, it's truly pathetic, said Naruto. The greatest flaw is that you have to transfer part of your soul. That is truly revolting and stupid in, well, every sense of the word. After all, if one was smart enough, they could simply capture one of your hosts. I believe that you placed your mark on the Uchiha for the same exact reason. How did you? I told you. I'm smarter than you, said Naruto. I already know what you're doing. You might be able to fool these common people, and that mark that you placed on the young boy, I can easily remove it, but I simply don't care about that. Nor do I desire to kill you. Yes, I know that you see Konoha as your enemy, and I know that you plan on destroying it. After all, what would be the purpose of you gathering your forces and moving them into position? Orochimaru was stunned. Yes, I know that you're the leader of the Sound Village. Yes, I know that you place a false leader there. A puppet that you control behind the scenes. This world is simply a scroll that has to be unraveled to truly understand what it is. Trust me, there is nothing that you can do that can surprise me, Naruto said. Now, as I was saying, your technique is flawed because you have to chip away at your soul. But your soul gave me an idea to something else I've been trying to dabble with, something truly unique. And I would like to gain your perspective. Naruto told Orochimaru the same thing that his parents knew about. By the time Naruto was finished, Orochimaru looked truly horrified because this was going to affect him as well. And he refused to allow this to happen. Genius, isn't it? Well, I would say that if I wasn't one of your targets. So knowing that, I'm gonna have to kill you. Orochimaru broke free from his restraints as he had a blade pressed against Naruto's throat. You weren't expecting that, were you? I was simply fake being afraid of you. You're a child. Smart one, yes, but you're still a worthless child that has no idea who I am. But don't worry, your plan gave me an idea. Perhaps I can use it to be the one that rules, Orochimaru said. Naruto chuckled. What's so funny, Orochimaru questioned. I told you before. I am already 10 steps ahead of you, said Naruto. Orochimaru blinked as he was back in the chair. What is this, he said. So, tell me, are you afraid now? He struggled against his bonds. Did you really think that just because I use it once, I would not use the same effort of affecting reality? By your perspective, that is. No, that I would have known. I would have felt the changes that I broke free. I found the weakness in your binds. But you're still right there. So how are they weak? The Sanin struggle and rage, but nothing happened. So primitive. So stupid. Can't you see it's pointless? Naruto said to him. You can't access your power. You're a normal civilian now. And those are not going to break no matter what. Trust me. I've made precautions to ensure that. Now, what I'm going to need from you is a piece of your soul. What? You heard me. Don't worry. This will hurt. The violent screams could be heard from Orochimaru. Orochimaru opened his eyes, looking around. What happened to him, he thought to himself. The last thing he remembered was facing off against the Uchiha, biting him, placing his mark on him. He then fled away, and now he looked up to the sky, the night sky. But that was odd. The time wasn't that dark. What in the world happened? However, he was interrupted by Uncle Midarashi, who finally found him and attacked him. However, the Sanin did not let it go, but he couldn't recall a single thing about what happened. Not a single thing, and it was affecting him. Perhaps he just blacked out, but that was even worse, he thought to himself. Hiruzen. He allowed Naruto to watch the exam because Naruto asked him, as he was given the special leeway to be there at the preliminaries, seeing the future generation. As all the children were there, there were Sasuke Uchiha, Sai, Sakura, Ino, Shikamaru, Choji. It seems that majority of Konoha ninjas had made it here. There was also a team from the Sand, consisting of the Jinchuriki of the Sand, and his siblings as well. There was also a team from the Sound as well. As the matches began, Ino saw Naruto and waved towards him. He smiled at her. He's here, Sakura said, surprised. He just wanted to see what is going on. Sakura didn't have a problem with it. She was just a bit surprised. She knew that Naruto and Ino were really close, but Naruto was sick. Sakura did not know a lot about his sickness, but she could tell that something was wrong. Ino didn't like to talk about it. But it wasn't just that he was in a wheelchair and could not be a ninja. He was a very nice person. She met him a few times. Charming and sweet. However, she already had her eyes on someone. Not to say that she was interested in Naruto, it's just she shook her head, gazing over towards her beloved Sasuke. Unfortunately though, ever since the bite, he's been acting strange. She had to stop him from going berserk on those Sound ninjas, and now one of them had a broken arm. While she did not feel sympathy for them, she was worried about Sasuke. Yes, she was. Naruto watched as the fights went on their way, as Sakura and Ino went at it. Ino came out on top, defeating Sakura, using her clan's technique. Perhaps she was showing off a bit for Naruto's case, as the others went at it. But the most brutal fight was Rock Lee. Naruto examined Rock Lee, the physical stature, as he gazed over towards his sensei Might Guy, who was more than happy to greet Naruto before the matches start. Kakashi speaking about Naruto, Guy telling him that despite the wheelchair, his flames of youth still burned brightly. Naruto simply chuckled awkwardly. This was all a facade though. Naruto has learned how to play people, how to behave around people that made them think that, well, everything was okay. After all, he was a master in this area. The only person that he doesn't really manipulate was Ino. He did lie to her a lot, but he did not manipulate her, although his lies are mostly focused on him not going into full details. Once the exam was over, Hiruzen could see the look on Naruto's face. His desire to be one of them, but that was far from it, extremely so. Jiraiya came by the village. Jiraiya had hunted down Tsunade to try and get her to heal him, but she wasn't able to do it, as Naruto's situation was not something that could be fixed. The Nine-Tail was, while not a healer, the chakra was more powerful than any other thing, him being the Jinchuriki of the Nine-Tails. If that did not fix him, the chances of her being able to do it are less than 1%. And after reading over the files and everything, giving her disdain to return back to the Hidden Leaf, she wasn't able to do it. But Jiraiya came by every now and again. He felt bad, and that could be seen. He pitied Naruto and the situation that he was in, but he tried his best to not let it show like now. Taking Naruto out, enjoying the time, speaking conversation, as Naruto was a very inquisitive person that liked to know about his trips around the elemental nation. And Jiraiya was a man that loved to tell his story, yes. He even wrote many books, and Naruto enjoyed every single one of them. The Sanin had no problem giving Naruto some of his more risky books. Naruto found them to be a mix of, well, Jiraiya lustfulness and drama, intensity, fight. The Sanin had truly cried when he heard that. Most people believe that his book was just filled with perverted things, but Naruto was smart, a very, very smart person. He literally cried, tears from his eyes, when he heard that. But Jiraiya had not given up. Jiraiya had searched the entire world. That was his goal, to finish it. He went to the Toads, but they had nothing that could help restore Naruto. They wanted to try nature energy, but Naruto's system rejected. Yes, Jiraiya had brought a tag infused with nature chakra to restore him, but Naruto's system rejected because the nine-tailed chakra had hurt his system more than helped it. Perhaps it was due to the overflow of chakra trying to heal him and failing. The seal was intact, nothing was tampered with, as Jiraiya had studied it. But the nature energy did nothing. There were a lot of rumors and legends in the elemental nation. He went to all sorts of places. He went to a volcano, he went underground, trying to find mystical herbs, trying to find something to help Naruto, but everything was unsuccessful. And the more time passed, the more he started to see Naruto was dropping things, getting weaker, unable to stay upright. Ino, she saw Jiraiya as she went to speak to him as he was leaving, knowing him from him visiting Naruto. She asked him if there was anything that he found. He told her that he was looking the last time, but the look on his face confirmed that there was nothing. She wanted to cry. She believed that he would bring something back. But Jiraiya did not give up, and he told her not to give up either. She spoke to Naruto as he told her to prepare for her match. It was going to be a hard one, but he believed in her. Yes, without a doubt. And he was there to cheer her on. On the big day, he was there. But her match was not first. Shikamaru and Tamaru were going to take place first. As Naruto sat with the others, observing, Sakura sat down beside him, along with a few others from their graduation class that did not make it. As she was speaking to him, he was here to cheer Ino on. Of course, Naruto said. She has this in a bag, he said with a smile. Yeah, she said. Despite Ino beating her, they were pretty close friends. Not as close as Ino and Naruto, but still, they were pretty close friends. Things might have been a bit rough between the two of them when they were younger, fighting over Sasuke, but the more they grew, the more they got rid of those pettiness between them. They were still rivals and challenged each other every now and again, but things was a lot better. The Hokage was in the podium along with the Kazekage, as they were all there to witness the matches take place. However, the third match that everyone had been waiting for, Ino had not fought yet, but this was a match that people wanted to see. Yes, it was for none other than Sasuke versus Gaara. The second match was entertaining as well. It was between Neji and Dosu, but Dosu stood absolutely no chance. The match did not lasted more than 2 minutes. And now, what people were here to see? You could see just how much Sasuke had grown in the short amount of time. His speed, now greater than Rock Lee's. That was true talent, and Lee felt a bit disappointed. Naruto pat him on the shoulder. There will always be time for your growth, he said. Don't let this bring you down. After all, you do have the flaming youth inside of you, right? Naruto said, trying to awkwardly cheer him up. Good job. Now he's going to 3, 2, 1. Lee jumped up, hurting himself as he did so because he was injured. You are right, Naruto, he said with a smile, despite the pain that he was feeling. I told you, Sakura said as he kept on shouting it. He will grow stronger. As he almost let himself down and his sensei down and everyone down. But no longer. He will overcome these feelings of jealousy and he will become stronger than ever, he said to himself. Down below, the match started to heat up. The participants became a bit terrified when Gaara released a blood-curdling scream. However, problems started to arise. As the walls exploded, smoke filled the box. What the hell was going on? It was an invasion. Konoha was being attacked. Ino ran, rushing to where Naruto was, jumping up towards the podium section. Sakura jumped in front of Naruto and deflected 3 kunais. Weapons were being thrown all over as the people were put to sleep. Naruto was unconscious, sleeping. He wouldn't be able to fight it off, she knew. She waked him immediately, sending a pulse of chakra. What's going on, he said, looking around. You have to get out of here, she said. We're being attacked. Someone appeared behind her, but Ino stopped him by taking over his mind. And then someone appeared behind Naruto. Something blocked her vision through the eyes of the man. But the person that was behind Naruto was now gone. Where did he? She shook it off. You have to get out of here. They helped him to safety, moving him through the sections. As there were other parties there evacuating, the 2 girls were stopped by one of the Jonins, ordered to help the others. They will make sure that he get to safety. As Naruto started to move through along with the crowd, as chaos reigned within the village. Naruto was traveling along with the crowd when he was no longer with them. As the others were taken to the bunkers, protective and safe, as the ninjas start to flee within the village area, showing that they indeed mean business. Chaos started to rage. Hiruzen, his mind ran on Naruto, fearing the worst. As he looked over to see. I should have ended this a long time ago, he said. I'm not going to make that mistake again, he told Orochimaru. Meanwhile, Naruto got back to his lab. As he arrived there, Naruto picked up something. As he was holding on to someone, the ninja that tried to kill him, Naruto had shrunk him, yes. He shrunk him. Literally. Naruto placed him on the table. As he placed on the tiny restraint that he shrunk. When the man grew larger, the restraints grew larger as well, holding him there. As Naruto's 3 puppets were, helping him, holding the man's body and placing it on the table, because Naruto's physical strength was non-existent. The man was cursing, but Kuma tapped him across the head, knocking him out. He already had on the clothing. Naruto got to work. The next moment, the Sound Ninja was back on his feet, as Naruto was in his resting position, his eyes closed. The 4 of them looked towards him before they ventured out. Behind Naruto was a very large tube. Inside of it, green and red liquid. And there was also someone floating inside. But Naruto wasn't paying attention to that right now. While his eyes were closed, he was tapping on the right side of his chair. Meanwhile, Orochimaru, on the back of his hand, a small tiny mark appeared. But he was not the only one. Gaara, who had fled to the forest, as he was in a rather transformative state. A tiny mark appeared on the back of his hand as well. Something was going on that none of them knew about. Keep in mind, Naruto was always at least 10 steps ahead. And it was just beginning. But guys, me and subscribe right here. If you want to see next person do, like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notification to stay posted. But I'm out for now. See you guys soon. Peace.